Hi there, Brian Conway here, and welcome to my classroom or to my studio, whichever way you look at it. I'm just shooting some training materials for one of my clients, and I thought I'd take a break from that to shoot this video for you guys to talk about something that I get asked an awful lot about, which is about conversions. A lot of people will say to me, how can I significantly increase the amount of conversions I actually get? And the key is in understanding how people buy, the psychology behind what makes people make buying decisions. So let me go through a framework that I often teach a lot of businesses and a lot of salespeople and a lot of marketeers, in fact, as well, because this addresses sort of two key aspects of selling, which is leads and conversions, and explain to you four phases of how people make a purchasing decision. I'm going to use the acronym PSPS. Okay, so these are the sort of four phases. So quite often, most people will buy something because they've got a problem. Right? Now, you might argue with me. You probably will argue with me. A lot of people do. But when I say problem, someone might argue that, well, actually, if I'm getting married, for example, that's going to be the best day of my life. That's hardly a problem, is it? Well, it's not, you're right. But planning the wedding can be problematic and all the potential pitfalls, and you want it to be the perfect day. So I'm kind of thinking in that kind of context. If I'm remodeling my kitchen, well, the problem is, buying the new kitchen or buying the new worktops or, getting a good tradesman that will install it for me, that sort of stuff. So yes, the outcome is positive, but the challenge of getting to that outcome. So if I've got a problem, the next phase of the buying process is actually to look for solutions. So we go out into the market, we do some research, more today than we used to ever because of the internet. One of the first things a lot of people do will go to YouTube to watch a video on the problem and see if they can understand what they should be trying to do to make the problem go away, and therefore looking at solutions. If they identify a solution, quite often then there's a product, hopefully, or a service that they will buy to enable them to achieve these outcomes. And once they've identified what that product or service is, that's when they will then look for a supplier of that product or service. Okay. Now that, if you'll accept this kind of simplicity of this for today, those are the four phases that people go through when they buy. A lot of it's not conscious, it's just kind of the way we do things. So we have a problem, we look for a solution, we find a product that delivers the solution, then we look for a supplier that delivers the product. Okay. Now, how do we increase our sales conversions and the amount of money we can make? Well, most people in business focus on this end of the sales cycle. They are a supplier quite often, and they will react to inquiries from people who've identified the need for their product or service. Okay, so think about that if that's the way you work. Now, the thing is, one of the reasons this is problematic is twofold. One, somebody else may have influenced the buying kind of criteria. Okay, so that's one thing. And secondly, so that might be kind of features, let's call that, of what the product or service might be. And secondly, now, all things being equal, they're looking for the best price from a supplier of the product because they know what they want. And that's why we see so many people go online once they've been around all the shops and know exactly what model of television or whatever it might be that they need, then they will kind of look at price matching. So you will make sales down here. I'm not saying you won't, but it's not the most effective way of selling, and it certainly won't give you significant conversion numbers. So how can we increase that? Well, the obvious thing is to engage what we call much sooner in the buying process. Let's focus on the problem. So the thing you should be taking away from this video is not what is my product, but what does my product actually do for my potential customers? What is the outcome that they will achieve? What's the problem that they will solve? Okay. Now, if you can do that, you'll find your conversion numbers significantly increase. One of my clients went from a 10% reactive conversion ratio here, where they were putting out quotes to people and pricing for their product and service, to over 70% conversion once they started implementing this system and this kind of process. So a 70% increase in business, that's not bad. Or they could have stayed the same and done 70% or a seventh of the work, if you see what I mean. But nearly double in the size of their business. So how do we do this? Well, the key is, as I said, is to interact with your customers when they're in this problem solving phase of the buying process. How do you do that? Well, offer some kind of value out into the market that educates them on, ideally, how to buy your product. Okay. Now, if you educate them on how to buy your product, then in fact you are selling, even though you're not actually selling. Or in fact, you could be selling without selling, or making sales without selling. Something like that. Sounds like a good tagline. So you can educate them on how to make the right buying decision. So how do you do that? Well, let's say I was a wedding planner. I talked about, you might be planning your wedding earlier. Let's say I was a wedding planner. Well, if I'm a wedding planner, I could put together a guide or maybe a little training series that's free of charge to potential customers of wedding planners and educate them on the things to do to get the best wedding planner for your perfect, to have the perfect day, for your big day. So you might put in there things like 10 questions you must ask a wedding planner, when to engage a wedding planner, prices, how much do wedding planners charge, things you must let your wedding planner know, I don't know, a checklist of the top 10 things that you have to make sure your wedding planner takes care of, 3 months before the big day or whatever it might be. So what I mean, so you can provide education on actually how to buy wedding planner services. But what happens is that when the potential customer, moves through this process and gets to this point, one, you've kind of educated them on what they should be buying. So, well, obvious thing would be to buy it from you. And secondly, at a subconscious level, we actually create a certain amount of loyalty to you because you have invested your time in helping them make the right purchasing decision. Now, you could wait to the end here and try and do that, as most people do, and try and pitch their product and service and why it's different and all that sort of stuff. Or you can engage much earlier and significantly increase, therefore, the amount of conversions. So this really is what we refer to, and you might have heard this expression, a sales funnel. And you can create a sales funnel like this and leave it to automatically sell on your behalf 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, etc. And all you need to do is then sort of feed in your leads. So it could be from your website, could be from paid advertising, could be from referrals, could be from social media, could be from networking, whatever it might be. But as the word gets around and you push people into this funnel, the funnel with a series of emails, videos, downloads, guides, all automated, can do all the selling for you. And this is one of the key principles of my Sales Without Selling program, is generating leads, because you're also generating leads here, as well as significantly increasing conversions by having a PSPS sales funnel. So if you're interested, Sales Without Selling, my training course will show you how to do this. If you want some help doing it, I do run a program called 12-Week Income Blitz. And if you go to saleswithoutselling.com/blitz, you can find out more information about that. And that is where I literally will take you by the hand, and within 90 days, we create a lead generation machine like this for your business. And I said that's available to you if you're interested. However, the purpose of today is to make sure that you understand the principles of how people buy, and recognizing it's not just about fulfilling needs. It's actually in many cases about creating the need, educating the customer on how to make a good and informed buying decision from you. Right? It will increase your conversions. It will significantly increase the amount of money you can charge as well, as another byproduct of this. You'll get significantly more leads into your business through this process as well. So it really is a win-win-win. If you haven't got something like this in your business, you should have it. Think, as we wrap up this video, what is the outcome? Not what is your product and what does it do? What is the outcome your product or service delivers? And then think about how could you engage with people earlier in their sales process or in the buying process, I should say, as part of your sales process, to be much more effective in the way that you sell and make income. So hopefully you've got some value from that. Hopefully it all makes sense. As I said, it's one of the key principles I teach a lot of my clients. It's covered in a lot of the courses I run as well. It's in Sales Without Selling, but you've got it here for free. I hope you got some great value from it, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care.